Alright, so today I'm going to be comparing this new Luxx that I got. So I've been playing around with it. I have the old Luxx version here, the S2, the Epic, and the Invikta. So far I've just gotten the Invikta version of the new Luxx, and I'll just be talking about, how does it play differently from the old one? How do I like it? And I'll just kind of give a brief overview of the differences. So here's kind of the side profile of the two versions of the Luxx here. So kind of the main differences is the new Luxx is 19 millimeters as opposed to the old 20 millimeters. So how much of a difference does that make? I think it actually makes a lot of difference, considering the construction of the new Luxx is quite different. So one, there's the new arrow throat that they have here as opposed to the old smiley face. So the flat throat that they have on this new version is similar to what they have on, let me pull it up here, on the 007. So they tried to figure out a new, more aerodynamic shape. So the new Luxx pulls a lot from a lot of the things that they tried with the 007. And so the new aerodynamic throat as well as the new grit pattern. So one of the things that I noticed as I was playing with it is the grit is way grittier on the Luxx 2.0 Infinigrit compared to the old one. And so like one thing that I noticed is even on the grit kind of inside the throat. So obviously I'm not hitting any of the balls inside the throat here, so this is kind of what it looks like just right out of the factory. And the grit inside here, I mean, there's a little bit of grit, but then here it's like, so here's the old one. The new one is like super scratchy inside there, compared to the Infinigrit here. It's actually grittier than the 07. So not sure what kind of change they made there from the 07 grit to the Luxx grit, but it's actually, yeah, grittier than the 007. So maybe they changed the formula a little bit of the Infinigrit, but that made the paddle super grippy. And yeah, so I mean, playing with it, it had a nice spin. The power and pop on this was pretty nice compared to the older Luxx. So the older Luxx, I mean, it played like a pillow, definitely a super wide sweet spot. So let me just go ahead and kind of give a quick demo, since I've been did this with some other comparisons as well. So here's the old Luxx. Let me see how I can get this nicely set up so I don't hit everything. So here's kind of the old Luxx. We got a bit of a nice sweet spot there, and then here's kind of the new Luxx. It feels like a bit pingier when it hits the sweet spot. So I feel like that kind of pops it off a little bit more. And then what they did with the new design of the later Luxx was they added foam inside of the throat here, so that helps with a lot of the shock absorption. And then they kind of reinforce the center here to allow for more power and pop. So all of the things that I didn't like about the old Luxx, it looks like they fixed with the newer version of the Luxx. So made it a little bit thinner. I don't know, maybe they could have made it even thinner than a 19, but I mean, the old Luxx is super popular and their #1 seller in terms of Selkirk paddles. So I'm pretty sure that this new Luxx Infinigrit is going to be really popular as well. So highly recommend it. I think it's going to be, yeah, great for most players out there, unless you really need a power paddle. This one has great like sweet spot. If you hit it anywhere, it definitely has still a bit of pop to it, even if you're hitting it on the edges. Let me give it, yeah. So if I'm hitting it like Oh, I guess that's kind of the main difference I do notice is because of the new aerodynamic throat. I guess that brings the sweet spot of it not just up here, but then even if you're hitting down here, it adds a little bit of sweet spot, which I guess I didn't really realize that on the old one. So here, because you have the higher like throat, like U shape, like cutout, you kind of lose a little bit of sweet spot, like right there and here. But then because it's flatter on here, you get a larger sweet spot area. So, oh, that's pretty cool to see that they enlarge the sweet spot with the newer aerodynamic throw. All right, kind of a add-on comparison with this new Luxx. One thing I didn't cover is how it hits differently. So with the old one, as I'm swinging both of the paddles, one of the main differences of the paddles is actually the weight distribution. And so the new Luxx, I feel, is less head heavy than the old version. So you have a lower swing. It feels almost like a lower swing weight just from the balance of the two. I don't know the exact swing weights right off the top of my head, but this one is a lot easier. The new one is a lot easier to swing than the old one. And so I think for that, you're not plowing through it as much as the old one. So I think that's kind of one of the main upgrades of the new one is they make it a little bit more customizable, less head heavy, so you can adjust it already. And so the stock weights of these, they both came in just over 8, so I think they're around 8.12, and then this is about an 8.15 is what I had the old Luxx on. So they're right about the same, just slightly over 8. So still allows for some customization, but I think they're... So aside from that, let me see if there's any differences in the handle. So the handles, pretty much the same between... Can't quite tell. Yeah, actually, so this is the one thing I'm really particular on with paddles is... So because the newer Luxx is slightly thinner, this like bevel right here, like on the flat part, is slightly narrower on the Luxx 2.0 compared to the old Luxx. So it seems like they're retaining that thickness here, which goes up into the paddle, and then they're retaining that slightly thinner part right here. So that's kind of one of my like requests for Selkirk is they should probably standardize the grips as opposed to just merely keeping whatever grip that they have here that matches the width of the paddle. So I know they've changed the grips on like different paddles, like the 008. If you go with the 10 millimeter versus the 16, like they changes the grip size. So I know they can make them all uniform. I don't know why they don't, but that's just one thing. I mean, if you're throwing an overgrip on, you probably might not notice it a whole lot, but that's just kind of one of the things that I do notice with the paddles. So if you're interested in getting one of these new Luxxes, they just launched 2 days ago, and I think they're going to be a great seller. So pick yours up today. You can get a free $30 gift card if you use my promo code ADVDTRONG, and see you out on the courts with them.